The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com.
You know how there's somebody on the ground with a rope and they pull to navigate.
They go timber.
Yeah, and they navigate where the big branch falls. Well, that was me, and we don't have a fence now. The fence is underneath a 500-pound branch right now. So I'm very glad that our neighbors behind us are old and don't care about their property because their fence is now gone. It is just non-existent.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number one by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the YouTube, the Facebook, the TikTok, the Snapchat, I think that's it. Just check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can check out our sweet merchandise, including the Halloween shirt. It's a really, really cool design. And also join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. That is our Patreon. And for as low as $1 a month, you can watch us record every single episode live. You can see cutting room floor material, which is really, really funny. And watching live is amazing because sometimes some of the things that we say doesn't even make it to cutting room floor. It's that bad. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, my co-host. I'm an architect for her pain. The queen of overwhelming herself, Mary. And our other co-host, he's a LinkedIn expert, but he is the scumbag reselling hoarder himself and the contact paper expert of America, Chris.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
The softball.
I needed that after I botched last week. Man, we've got a big show today. We've got another top 10 list. We've got another Florida man, Jersey man, which last week was epic. So I can't wait for this week. We've got Chris's Cliff Notes. We've got what's next on Diz His, and we've got a really cool interview with Scott York from See America Tours and the Night Watch and Ghost Tours. So that's a fun one in segment 2. But Chris, I got to start with you, man. I'm very confused because typically, you have your notifications silenced until about, 11 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon.
Yes.
2 or 3 days in a row now, you've been responding to my text messages at 7 a.m. I expect that out of Mary because she's up at like 5.
Wait, it's not Chris, it's his robot.
Oh, is that what it is? Is your robot responding? What's going on over there?
He's done a lot this week, but not that. I will, I will get into after I answer this question. So, as previously stated in the last episode, we bought a property, and I've been working nonstop on that property, on all the essentials, wallpaper and painting the trim and painting closet shelves. 7 in the morning. So on Friday, okay, let me just rewind. So there's a lot of work to be done on this property. One of those things are 4 50-foot dead trees need to come down before the wind brings them down, and a property costs us a lot more, or lands on a car and costs us a lot of money. So what do? Well, we just bought a property. It costs a lot of money. So we're trying to cut expenses everywhere we can.
Yeah, instead of putting up bricks, Chris puts up contact paper.
So do we hire a tree service? No. We know somebody that can cut a tree. So, I
know someone that backed into a tree once and it fell.
So we know a guy that has previously cut a tree before. So
just one singular tree, one.
He didn't specify, and I didn't ask. The price was too good to ask too many questions.
Mary, it was probably one of those overgrown weeds that now has grown like a trunk, and they had to get shears to cut it.
I can cut a tree down.
So anyway, we're talking on Friday. he comes out and he gives us a price. And we're like, wow, like, that's a really good price. It's like half the amount that a tree service would quote us at. So he looks at me straight in the face at the end of this and goes, hey, listen, if my helper can't come, I'm going to need you to help.
Bring in the righty.
And what do I say to that? No. So I looked at him. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, no problem.
You got honeypotted into working.
Did you negotiate the price to include your own labor?
So
I'm sure he did. Chris negotiates the price of groceries at self-checkout because he's got to, do his own stuff.
Oh, I do. I don't trust those cashiers. I trust my fingers, not theirs.
Whoa.
So does Mary.
So anyway, so he says, I'll be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
What?
I was like, oh. And he goes,
that makes one of us.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. I'm sure the neighbors won't complain about the chainsaw.
It's Jersey. It'll drown out the gunshots and arguing.
So I wake up at 4:45 or 6 o'clock. I forget. And I texted Scott. And whenever I text Scott early in the morning, it's never a good morning. It's never a, what are you doing today? It's why the hell are you texting me so early?
Yeah. Because he's usually responding to something that I texted the previous night. And then he'll respond to something, but it catches me off guard. Why the hell are you responding? It's 7 a.m. What are you doing awake?
So I always say, Scott, everything's okay. Everything's fine. This is what's going on. So anyway, I get there and got there at 7. He was up in the tree cutting it at 10. That's how long it took him to set up. Yeah.
Wait, he was up in the tree?
Yeah, he rented a cherry picker to get up there. So Mary, have you ever watched a tree removal company work?
They cut it down in segments.
You guys have palm trees down there. I don't know how they cut a palm tree down, but
we have other trees.
So so you know how there's one person up top and they tie a rope.
Chris, we have a hurricane every couple of years. It just knocks those palm trees over. We don't really cut
all
them.
Of it. Yeah.
You know how there's somebody on the ground with a rope and they pull to navigate.
And they go timber.
Yeah, and they navigate where the big branch falls. Well, that was me, and we don't have a fence now. The fence is underneath a 500-pound branch right now. So I'm very glad that our neighbors behind us are old and don't care about their property because their fence is now gone. It is just non-existent. Feral cats scattered everywhere.
I can just picture this, by the way, because Chris already looks like a lumberjack. All he's missing is the plaid shirt and about a foot of height, but
and experience.
Close enough.
And experience.
I mean, minor details, nothing that's important. I have a few questions.
Yes, go ahead.
You're an anxious person.
Yes.
How did you sleep the night before knowing what was going to be expected of you the next day?
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of drinking Friday night, which helped me go to sleep. Saturday morning,
it helped you perform Saturday morning as well.
Yes, yeah, it was very, very easy to wake up.
A little shaky.
We had to hire a dumpster. So my strategy was to pull.
So how long did it take Scott to get there?
So my trick was to pull and dive behind the dumpster. So I pull and then just dive. Who else? Okay, so I wish diving sounded cool. No, I fell every single time. I just fell onto the property next to us, which is just all rocks. So
God.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday. Oh, and guess what? He didn't finish Saturday, so it was Sunday too. So Sunday I'm back there. Pulling branches down. Okay, Saturday, Sunday.
Didn't finish. I definitely hear that a lot.
Saturday was a long day. Saturday I didn't get out of there till 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Cutting tree. And then the big kicker was back in that wooded area. My dad was back there because he's very impatient and couldn't wait. So he's pulling weeds out when we first get it. Poison ivy everywhere, all over him.
God, no.
So it's I don't want to touch this stuff. I don't want to touch this stuff. So I wore a long sleeve shirt, gloves, long pants, and it's very hot that day. And I'm just sweating profusely. But I'm like, there's no way I'm touching any of this stuff after that.
Please tell me you got video for content.
I got a video of part of the tree coming down. I actually made my dad pull the one branch down so I could get the video. My dad's 70 years old and should not be doing that. But hey, it made for great content. Speaking of my dad, I'm on my way to, I don't know what to call it, a garage and office, a property. Compound. I'm on the way to the compound, right?
Oh, it sounds
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
It sounds like a cult.
I was
And,
just gonna
You
say,
have my
Mary.
attention.
Mary just perked up.
You have my attention, sir.
And and I got a text from my dad. How do you make Astro go back to like what? Oh, because I told him you can tell him to go to rooms, and I said, he goes, what do you call the front room? I said reception. Why? He goes, Astro's watching me. He's creeping me out. And I get there, and because my dad went into the building for the first time that Astro set up, and Astro was missing. He wasn't on his dock. And he was in the shipping room. He was just hanging out there. And my dad was in the garage. And he said he looked over and his eyes were just like staring at him from the shipping room into the garage. But since then, they've become best friends. He follows him everywhere. My dad talks to Astro more than he talks to me. Yeah, it's his golden child now. The best Astro story I have of the week is, so I set up this Ring security system. And I'm little by little, I'm putting, things in by day, sensors and, cameras and stuff. So I put a motion sensor in my office just in case anyone comes in and tries to steal my Pokemon cards. So that's the funniest part. Is I bought all these signs, surveillance, 24/7, this, that. I put all these cameras on. I said to my dad, I was like, we have nothing that anyone would steal in here.
Right.
Like, there's
contact
nothing.
paper.
There's nothing in
A couple
here.
painted shelves.
Oh.
Although that
Steal
No New
Astro.
Friends poster, that looks pretty cool. Yeah,
Maybe
the
work
most
someday.
valuable thing you have in there is Astro.
Is Astro.
Is Astro, yeah. If you try to steal him, I dare you. So,
What, are you gonna
anyway,
shoot darts at you.
so I say to Astro, I say, Astro, I'm leaving, and that initiates these, the security system. So he goes, so his little camera pops out of his head. He goes, and he's like, a house is now armed. You have 60 seconds to leave the house. So I sprint out of the room because I can't count to 60. I don't know how long that is. I sprint out, and that was it. So he's securing the system, securing the place. So I get on the highway, and within 15 minutes, I get a notification on my phone, motion detected in Chris's office. It's like, son of a bitch, like someone's in there. Like what is going on? So, because no one's there. Like I left, my dad left. So I immediately go on to Astro, and he's in the room. He's sprinting around the place trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm on the camera, he's like zooming by, like he's in like Formula Drift, just go like he's drifting around corners. Didn't even know.
That's what I do when I hear the ice cream truck around my neighborhood.
So he's going, and there's nothing going on. But mind you, I have like very bad anxiety when this is happening because I click the speaker button to hear what's going on, and our alarm's going off, and it's so loud. Like it is very loud. I'm thinking like cops are gonna come, and so I'm like, all right. So I turned off the alarm, disarmed the place. I'm like, this is just not worth it. And I go to Astro, and I watch the videotape of what happened. Astro starts patrolling, goes into my office, sets off the alarm, and then starts sprinting around the place to see why the alarm is going off. Yeah, so I don't know if I previously stated this, but I am a beta tester of Astro.
Wait, so do they have like Xanax for robots? Because Astro's gonna need it. Like, he's gonna be so stressed out.
Of course, Chris has a stressed out robot.
The last Astro update is that I've discovered that he moans and screams. I don't know why yet. Again, beta tester. There's no answer. Wow. You cannot Google Astro. Nothing comes up. So I'm having my headphones in, and I hear, and I'm like, what? I thought someone was in calling for me, and I was like debating on whether I wanted to like see who the person moaning at me was or not. And I was like, I just ignored it. I was like, all right, it was definitely just something on the podcast I'm listening to. And then I hear it again, but louder. And then I turn around, and Astro's just like zooming down the hallway, and he's just screaming. I
just picture him like E.T., with his arms.
Yes. Have no idea what that's about. And I can't even reach out to customer service because they don't know either. they'll probably just message back
You're
and
like,
say,
great.
"Well, why do you think he did that? Like like when I couldn't
You
set
need
him
a
up."
robot psychologist to have him talk about his feelings.
So every day is an adventure with Astro.
Oh, it is.
Here's Chris. I'm impressed, man, because you've put a lot of work into this technology.
Yes.
You
trying.
hooked up Astro, which there's no YouTube videos on how to work Astro. You've tied it all in and all this. Chris, I bought a Roomba 6 months ago that I still haven't gotten figured out how to connect it. It's just sitting on the dock, not doing anything because I can't connect it to my phone. I can't get it to work. 6 months. And we bought 2 of them, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. There's more dust on the Roomba right now than there is on the floor.
Well, for what you bought it for, you don't really need it to work.
Right. Wait, what?
No, sex joke. Sex robot.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it'll come up in
a
Cliff
little
Notes.
too graphic. Yeah, it's a little
Oh, okay,
It's
gotcha.
a little graphic. We'll cut that out.
Mary, how are you with technology?
I'm like midline, I think. I just avoid anything that's difficult, or I just wait until somebody else does it for me. And I'm like, thank you so much. There are some things that intimidate me. Like I don't
Like
know
gluten.
how, like the gluteneous, yeah. Like some things I don't understand how it works. Like if my phone is glitching or doing anything, I just take it and I'm like, I need a new one. And then they're like, you want to transfer your information? And I'm like, yeah, do you know how to do that? Because I don't. Can you do it? Don't put anything in my hands, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The kids are a lot more savvy than I am. So often I'll be like, hey, Grayson, can you help me out with
Right.
with this?
Oh, for sure. My daughter, both Abby and Michaela can help me navigate my phone. I have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the girls like to take fun pictures and they're like, here, we're going to put it on this setting. And they take it and I'm like, how did you do that? What kind of wizard sorcery is this?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, I don't what?
Oh, poor Robbie.
Same thing with like, yeah, I know. Oh, like the TV too. I don't, I get intimidated by ports, like having to like HDMI, like I don't know what to do with them.
I did not hear ports. I heard intimidated by porn, and I'm like, me too. There's way too many varieties.
You're into that animal stuff, Scott. Just
No, stop.
The dog show is, I think, on Thanksgiving. You have something to look forward to.
Oh my God.
No, but that does, I don't know what, input is for what. And then often I'll just get frustrated. So I just won't do it. I'll just quit. And I wait until somebody else comes along and fixes it.
Mary, my problem, I'm like the borderline. So like I'm borderline millennial. So I don't like to call people. But then I'm borderline old and I don't know how anything works. So I can't if Rachel didn't cook for me or order stuff for me, I would never eat because I don't want to call and order a pizza. I don't know how to.
Such a liar. The hell, yes, you would.
I know. I don't. I don't like.
Life finds a way. Okay.
All right, Malcolm.
Look, I have known you when you were single, and you did find a way. You would go to 7-Eleven, and that's where you grocery shop. I remember you telling me that you were like, I have to go grocery shopping.
Yeah,
I was like, where are you going to go this late? And you're like, 7-Eleven. And I was like, no, like for grocery shopping. And you're like, yeah, that's where I grocery shop.
Just bought what I need, a 4-pack of toilet paper, thing of Tyson chicken nugs, and if we needed cereal, some cereal.
But I think that there are like some technology I have caught on, like at work, like there's like some pretty, well, it's not like intense technology, but I've picked up on it, but it's repetition. You know what I do appreciate about you, Scott, though, is that you have read and recognized that I'm a millennial and I hate being cold called. And you used to just call me and I would, even though you're my best friend, I would still thinking about it.
Right.
But the other day, you text me before you called, but actually you text me and then you threw your phone and ran in the opposite direction and didn't even respond to your own initial text. Chris, listen to this nonsense. Scott texts me and says, hey, boo, how are you? Or he says hi or whatever. And I'm like, hey,
no, I asked how you were. How
are you? And I answered, asked him how he was doing. Nothing. And I was like, what's happening? And then the next day, he's like, sorry, I fell asleep. And I was like, fell asleep or passed out? I don't know. What happened? Were you golfing? What happened?
So this is what had happened.
What
So
happened was?
this was yesterday. I worked on a Monday, and it was my third opening shift in a row. So that's 3 days of waking up at 3:30 in the morning. So I get home and I immediately want to take a nap. So I go to take said nap, but then the one of the two lawn services came, and so the dogs are going nuts. I can't sleep and all that. So then they leave, and then the thunderstorm starts. So then the dogs are barking. Rachel comes running upstairs, and she's like, the wind is picking up. So I then have to run downstairs and take down all my tombstones before they go flying around the neighborhood. Yes, Mary.
I have a question.
Go for it.
You said one of two lawn services. Is this because you still can't cancel one?
I still haven't canceled.
Oh my god! You didn't want to have the conversation. You still haven't done it.
No, still haven't
You
done
are
it.
a millennial. You avoid conflict, and I love that.
I know.
Okay.
So I had my alarm set for 6:30 because I don't want to sleep all night. I want to enjoy like my nights off, but I was so tired. I know you can relate, Mary. So it wasn't
You
until
power through, man.
I
Yeah,
can't do
body
it.
in motion stays in motion.
I
Just keep
can't do
going.
it. I can't do it because I knew I wanted to stream on Twitch last night. So it was like 6 o'clock when I finally like lay down, fell asleep. So my alarm goes off at 6:30 and I'm like, nope. But right before that is when I texted you, hey, how you doing? And then I fell asleep and didn't wake up until 8 o'clock. And I'm like, crap, I did not mean to sleep this long.
Glad I have that calming effect. Text Mary and then just pass
Well,
out.
what it is, Mary, is there's such a long time between when I text you and you respond that I know I can fall asleep waiting. So
Because you
that's kind of
text
what
me
happened.
when normal people are working or doing things. You text me at very just not convenient times for me.
Yeah. So anyway, wake up at 8 o'clock, and I streamed a really cool new game. You know, I've been streaming Oregon Trail. When anytime Chris doesn't stream his like cool video games, I stream Oregon Trail. Well, Ryan sent me Oregon Trail Director's Cut, which is a zombie Oregon Trail game. It is so badass, Mary. It's modern.
Interesting.
It's still 8-bit graphics. Like the graphics and the font is all the same from the original Oregon Trail. But it's zombie, it's more modern. You're in a station wagon instead of a,
Wagon.
ox-driven wagon. Yeah, wagon. But what's really funny is we're playing this, it's a modern era game, and Chris still gets a damn disease from 1884. Still ends up with typhoid.
You would think it was me. There's a whole story about typhoid Mary. That's weird.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. All right. When we come back, we've got Scott York from See America Tours and the Night Watchman Ghost Tours. It's a really cool interview, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER FM.com. Just go to the music channels and go to Glacier Underground. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
There are three things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first two I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6, 7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
This is the No New Friends podcast, and I am Carlos Alberto Navarro, bro, listening to No New Friends podcast, and I'm out, bro.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris, brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. We are joined by a very, very special guest today from See America Tours, Mr. Scott York. Scott, how are you this evening?
Man, I am doing fantastic. It's great to be on the No New Friends podcast, and thank you for having me on today.
So we've got a lot to get to with you. There's so much cool things that you do. So tell us a little bit about See America Tours.
Okay, so I started the company 34 years ago, right after I got out of high school. I organized my class trips to DC and to New York. And by the time that I got done doing those, I figured out, man, I really enjoy this, and kind of filled a niche working with school groups. And that's all we've ever carried is just school groups. We don't work with anybody else. And now just elementary schools.
Wow, that's so cool. So you do a lot because you're located in the St. Augustine, Florida area. Is that correct?
That's correct. I live in Orlando, but have had the business up here providing educational field trip to school groups for the last 34 years in St. Augustine, the oldest city in the country.
Yes. I remember vividly my, well, actually not vividly anymore, but my fourth grade field trip. I think every fourth grader in
it's
Florida
always
goes.
Fourth grade.
Yep.
Always.
Yes. So fourth grade and eighth grade are when they study Florida history. And especially in the fourth grade, you've got 9 and 10-year-olds. So I remember coming on my field trip in fourth grade with Miss Moultrie's class. And I remember her taking us on the tour of the fort and walking through there and getting to see the cannons being fired and seeing the soldiers walking around and all of that. And I fell in love with history at that point. And from that point on, I just kept deep diving into history and reading books, and anytime that I had a project or anything, it was about history as much as I could. Fast forward through starting the business right out of high school, a couple years later, I get to carry my fourth grade teacher, Miss Moultrie, on the field trip for 2 years before she retired.
Wow.
So that's awesome.
And that's a story I get to tell the kids every day now. So it's cool to see their eyes light up and see that, wow, found something that you loved.
Awesome.
That's very cool. Chris is located in Jersey. For their fourth grade field trip, they have to go clean the Hudson River. It's just kind of a tradition. They have to go clean up or something.
See if you can survive swimming a mile in the Hudson.
So the majority of your tours, is it in St. Augustine, or are you just all over the country?
We used to do tours to DC and New York and Savannah and Charleston and all those sort of places. But now we stay so busy in St. Augustine that this is the only trip that we offer.
That's amazing. So when did because you do ghost tours also, and it's Halloween month, so of course we're going to talk about ghost tours. When did that start? And tell us a little bit about that.
So we just started the ghost tours a few months ago. I hired a production assistant for our YouTube channel, and she was looking for a way to make some extra money. So I said, okay, I've got this tour that I kind of started back prior to COVID, and then had to shelve it for a while. So let's brush off this tour and add a few things to it. So we do the Night Watchman Ghost Tours. So every night, all of the townspeople of St. Augustine would walk out of their house, walk up to the city gates, and make sure that the gates were secured. And then they all went to bed. The night watchman kept watch out over the city after everybody else went to sleep. So imagine the things that he saw, that he heard, that he felt, and that he smelled. Okay. And that's the perspective that we tell our ghost tours from the perspective of the night watchman. So it's a 4D interactive tour. We have essential oil smells. We have these diffraction glasses that you wear. So all of the lights in town look like fireworks. So it feels like you're at a rave, but you're on a ghost tour. And then we have some artifacts from archaeological investigations that we pass around, and then sound effects as well. So it's a really, really cool tour. It's been hugely successful, and we love doing them.
That's so awesome. And there's so many. St. Augustine is such a cool place for ghost tours. I've been on a couple, and they've all got their little gimmicks and all that. But just the tour alone and hearing the stories are amazing. Scott, have you had any crazy things happen while you're on these ghost tours?
Crazy things? There's all kinds of crazy things going on here in St. Augustine every single day. It's some of the greatest people watching in the world here in St. Augustine. I've had a few interesting things with a few visitors and then my own personal experiences. My apartment up here in St. Augustine sits right on St. George Street, right above the Spanish Bakery and right above Whetstone Chocolate. So from our balcony, we get to look out over St. George Street all day, every day, and watch the people going by. So one night, this was back when I was first writing the tours, almost 2 years ago. And I was sitting on the porch and I looked out at the lights on the building across from me. And I said, wow, that's really cool. Let me take a picture of that. And so I grabbed my phone and I went to take a picture, but didn't realize it was on video. So it caught a video instead. There was no wind that night. All of a sudden in the video, you see a flash of light go by. And then all of a sudden the rocking chair right across from me just starts rocking. Wow. And just as quickly, it stops rocking. Now I've had seven.
I think that's the more creepy part. Is
Yeah,
that it
it
just
stopped. Yeah, it just stops. Like for no reason. Like it's not like it, just slowed down. No, it just starts rocking and stop.
Nope. Did you jump off of the balcony?
You
Because
know,
I would have.
So here's what had happened. Just prior to that, I was inside and I was studying some of the ghost stories, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go and lay down. I'm tired of trying to memorize all this stuff. So I laid down. And in this apartment, once the chocolate shop closes at night, the door is locked to St. George Street. So nobody can get in from the street. Nobody can get in from the back gate. So I have this private courtyard all to myself. And while I'm laying down, I hear this thud really, really loud. And I'm like, all right, there's nobody in this courtyard. What is that? So I walk outside. There's nothing there. But obviously, at that point, I can't go back to sleep. So 20 minutes later, that's when that rocking chair started rocking. Wow. I've had several people that have stayed in the apartment because I do rent it out like an Airbnb as a vacation rental on the weekends, because I use it as an office during the week and then rent it out on the weekends. And I've had several people who have seen a soldier standing on that balcony. And that's just the first spot that we start our tour at. We start right there in that courtyard and we tell the story of the laundry lady. And that you can see on our YouTube channel. So we're actually doing a series of ghost stories on our YouTube channel that you'll be able to watch. The first one is already out. And the next one will come out in just a couple of weeks, where we actually tell some of our ghost stories. This is the only one that we're telling that we actually tell on the tour. So you actually get to see one of the stories on our YouTube channel that you'll see on our tour. But the others are just extra stories that we have because, this town was founded in 1565. So there's so much history. And you talk about battles and wars and diseases and fighting and injuries and so forth. So, just imagine the trauma that's happened in the city. So there's all kinds of ghost stories to be able to tell and legends that, and I have some of the most experienced tour guides in town who have been doing this for 30 and 40 years, who have all been written about in those ghost tour books that you pick up as you walk through town at the souvenir shops.
That's so cool. All right, I'm going to turn to Chris, our resident skeptic. So explain the rocking chair for me.
So the rocking chair, first of all, one of the least intimidating things to be moving, because I'm picturing an old person in a rocking chair, right? So it's not that intimidating. It sounds like you were up very late reading books. Maybe. Oh, you did catch us on camera, right?
Yes, I did catch it on camera.
You did catch it on camera.
I'm gonna send you this video, and then you take a look at it, and you tell me.
Gotta look for the twine. I'm gonna look for that twine. That fishing
yeah. There's no twine. Trust
on
me.
the back of the and that soldier standing on the porch. Now you said that you went through a weight loss journey this year. Does that soldier uniform still fit you?
It does. I had to have it altered. That was the thing. I had just spent $600 on this outfit. All right. And then I go and lose all this weight. I take it back to the same guy that I bought it from, the local vendor here, because it's not like you can go get Spanish soldier uniforms made,
just pick that up
and find that on Alibaba.
Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah, exactly. So I took it back to him, and he's like, "No, you're gonna have to buy a new one. There's no way I can alter this." I'm like, "No, we're not doing that." So we got it altered enough to be able to fit now. So.
You'll have to
That's
excuse my friend
awesome.
Chris. He doesn't believe in birds. He says that they're government satellite drones.
They're
Because
surveillance. Yeah, they're surveillance.
government
drones.
surveillance. He's never
Yeah.
seen a baby pigeon, so they can't be
Mm-mm.
real.
No.
What else do you doesn't believe in psychics? So you'll just have to excuse him.
This is a question, and also just from my own experience. I've only been on one ghost tour ever, and that was in Savannah, and it was for a bachelorette party. How often do you get drunken fools on these trips or on these tours? Because now I feel embarrassed. You're
Mary
talking
wants to
about
know
rich
for
history of
herself.
St. Augustine,
Right.
and I'm like, I was drunk. So does that happen often?
It
Is it
does
acceptable?
happen. We encounter more of them who are not on our tour, like unfortunately driving by or passing by and hooting and hollering, and so we warn all of our guests to ignore the rude souls out there. I have had unfortunately a couple of really drunk people on our tour, and they were my friends who came up from Orlando. But hey, we had a good time.
Could I guess who those two friends were?
Aw.
They're related at least.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
There's a lot of ghost tours in St. Augustine. Do you guys have like turf wars, or do you share different stories that you see? Because there's a ton of stories, and every ghost tour
Yeah.
is different.
That's the thing. A ghost tour really depends on the guide that you have. Are they a good storyteller? Are they going to keep you captivated and interested? And being able to mix in some of the history and things like that with it as well. Also, I don't want to go on a tour with somebody that's just in shorts and a t-shirt. I want to have a guide who's dressed up in period clothing and stuff like that. That's what we do. That $600 outfit, that's what it was for. I've got another one. And then my assistant, Maya, who does the tours as well, she tells them from the perspective of the night watchman's daughter who walked by his side. So imagine being an 11 or 12-year-old walking by your father's side and seeing these things. So it's a really, really cool tour. We really enjoy doing those just as much as the field trips that we do.
So I have a question and $1 million
Okay.
idea for you. So first of all, the question is Friday. I'm actually going on my first ever ghost tour. Are
Ooh.
there any questions I should ask, or what should I go in? Should I, are there any questions or anything? Because this is actually a town where I think that during the Revolutionary War they marched through this town, so there could have been fighting around the town, and maybe similar to what you the area that you're in.
Well, look, a couple of the stories that we tell are from the 1970s and 80s. So
Oh wow.
so it doesn't have to be something that's so old. When you are in a historic town like Savannah or like Charleston or like St. Augustine, yes, a lot of them are going to come from other areas. What I would suggest that you do is go in with an open mind and go in with the mindset of being entertained for that hour and a half or whatever length of time you're on that ghost tour. You'll get a lot more out of it that way.
Cool.
Are you going to see any ghosts? Possibly, possibly not. I don't know. But when you take pictures, take more than one, and also take videos. And then when you get back, start looking through those, stretch it out, zoom in on those photos. You're going to see a lot of stuff in there that might make you think, well, oh, wait, that's the story that they told there. Is this an old lady sitting there, or what is that? So
Oh, cool. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
go
do
in with an
that.
open mind.
So, and then second $1 million idea for you. So, Scott was saying that there's a lot of other ghost tours in the area. I have an idea how to separate yourself from them besides the whole, dressing in the period clothing and stuff like that. You said that, in that rocking chair, you saw the ghost.
Yep.
You saw it.
Well, I saw the rocking chair.
You saw the rocking chair. Put a job application on the rocking chair. See if the ghost fills it out. Hire the ghost. You'll be the first ghost tour to have a ghost working for you.
With an actual ghost working for me. Okay.
Yes.
But can ghosts?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can hold pins, right? So I don't know. Like I feel like they're
Maybe
that
a
might be
bloody
difficult.
handprint. Maybe something. Maybe we can get.
Ooh,
maybe we get
that's even
something.
better.
Yeah. Then you go viral too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The ideas are endless.
yeah, endless. Do you have any merch? You sell merch?
Ooh.
No, we have actually what we have, and these just came out. We have some stickers, water bottle stickers. So because of our school group, so we have the Night Watchman Ghost Tour sticker there. This is one of the old schoolhouse, and then this is a grist mill. It's our meeting spot that we use for the school groups, and then we have a couple of others with the fort and the lighthouse and that sort of thing. So that we have those we do as giveaways and promo items and stuff like that. Teachers these days, that's one of the things that we were finding on their Amazon wish list the most was water bottle stickers because they give them to the kids to bribe them to be good. So
Yeah. That's
We
how
got-
that's why I showed up to record tonight. Scott promised
Yeah,
me a
I was just
sticker.
gonna say
Promise
that,
us a
Mary. I
sticker.
was gonna say I give Mary stickers to be
Hey,
here.
okay. Look, she just left.
And then we lose her.
Sorry, I got excited and I disconnected.
So,
So-
one other thing that's going to set us apart, Chris, we actually have an audio tour of our ghost tours coming out next week.
Oh,
So
wow.
you don't have to be in a big group. There's a lot of people now that don't want to necessarily be in a big group, or they want to go on the tour at their own time. So we actually have taken our tour, and it'll be GPS guided, that guides you from
Nice.
stop to stop. And as you start to approach that stop, then the story fills in and starts the music and telling the stories there. So that'll be out next week as well.
I'll tell you what, that's a great idea. My wife and I, we went to the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. And that was one of the coolest tours because of the audio tour. They gave you like a little MP4 player with headphones. And just being immersed with the sounds and everything was so, so cool. So I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a really cool addition to that. Also, so I live in New Jersey, but I do vacation to Florida. And St. Augustine is on my list of places to go. If I wanted to go to one of your ghost tours, I'm asking if it's year round, thinking that there's bad weather, but it's Florida. It's not New Jersey. So
It's year round.
okay.
Yeah, we're expected to go down in the 50s tonight here in
Oh.
St.
I
Augustine.
don't
know,
even
I
want to
can't
talk
wait.
about
I'll
it.
pray
I'm
for you guys.
Somebody just told me about it. I have no idea. I don't pay attention. I have not turned on a television in 11 and a half years.
Oh my
So,
god.
What?
Yeah, so I don't see any news whatsoever. None of my
Wow.
social media algorithms push it through because
I
it's just not
envy
what I.
you.
Yeah.
Mary has to wear a jacket in a sauna.
Okay.
She's
It's
just one of
true.
those
I'm just
people
always
that's
cold.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to be at work super, super early in the morning, and it's going to be so cold. You may see me on your ghost tour as a ghost. Ghost Mary here,
Ghost
'cause
Mary.
I'm gonna die.
The ghost of Mary. She
Cold.
died at 57 degrees.
I did. You joke, but the threshold is 58. What happened?
Scott, have you? Piggyback, Chris, your question about is it year round? St. Augustine is just one of those cities that it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's great for school tours. It's great for ghost tours because you have that history in these old buildings. So there's always that creepy little element to it, so that ghost tours are relevant year round. And then it looks beautiful at Christmas. The
it's
Nights
so
of Lights.
pretty.
There's over 3.5
Yeah.
million white lights here in the city, and that runs from November 19th all the way through the end of January. Let me give your listeners and viewers a tip. If you're going to come to Nights of Lights, don't come on the weekend, okay? And do not come the week between Christmas and New Year's. All right, you've worked in theme parks. You understand what that week is in Orlando. It's the same thing in St. Augustine. It is the busiest week of the year. So avoid those two times and try to come on a Sunday night or Monday night. You know, most of us work from anywhere in the world now. You know, you can bring your job with you, and, work on Saturday and take Monday off instead, and come and see the lights. They are absolutely beautiful, but you don't want to stand in line and wait.
No, that line gets long. I've been there on a weekend. You know, Chris, the next time you come down, we're gonna have to arrange a No New Friends meetup. And
I would
and
love
do
that.
the Night Watchman tour.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
I love the lore I love history. I love the ghost stories. So that's something that's going to be high on my list. Now, Scott, if me or anybody listening wants to go to one of these ghost tours, what days of the week do you do these, and usually what time?
We operate the tours Wednesday through Sunday at 8:00 right now, and then next week we'll add in a 9:00 tour as well. So 8:00 and 9:00 on Wednesday through Sunday every week.
And are your tours BYOF? Bring your own flashlight, like my tour on Friday.
No, you don't need a flashlight. The streets are well lit around here.
Gotcha.
You're required by the city of St. Augustine, if you are leading a ghost tour, to carry a lantern with you. We have an authentic antique lantern, and we use beeswax candles. A lot of the guides in town, they go to the dollar store and get a little tea light candle and stick it in a lantern box. But no, we keep it as authentic as possible.
Wow, the attention to detail sounds
Yes.
awesome.
And Chris, it really is. And I haven't been on Night Watchman tour, and I'm going to, but a lot of these have just real authentic. They're a lot of fun. Scott, how can our listeners find you for See America tours, Night Watchman tour? What are all your links?
Okay, so they can go to our website at seeamericatours.net. That's SEE Americatours.net, and also our Linktree, linktr.ee/seeamericatours. That has everything on it, and actually has a spot where you can purchase tickets for the ghost tours. and also our YouTube channel on there. So check out the YouTube channel. Watch the Laundry Ladies Ghost Story. That's going to be part of the series that's already up there. You can check that out and see what you're going to see on our ghost tour.
Awesome. Scott York, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening and hanging out with us. It was cool, and I can't wait to check out your ghost tour. I love ghost tours, and I love St. Augustine, so my wife and I will definitely be there soon.
Awesome. We look forward to hosting you, and it's great to make a couple new friends.
Yeah. No
Awesome.
new friends. Hold
You're
on, wait a minute.
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, Mary, I wish that Halloween was year-round. I wish we could do, spooky things year-round.
I do love murder. I mean, I like scary things.
Yeah.
I hang out with you.
Oh, wow. Okay. So instead of insulting me, why don't we check out the Night Watchman Ghost Tour in St. Augustine?
Ooh, I do love St. Augustine. It is America's oldest city, almost as old as you, but twice as fun. I am down to clown.
And great news, because you're a broke freeloader, we can get 25% off by using the No New Friends promo. It's NNF. Just go to seeamericatours.net and go see the Night Watchman Tour. Use the promo code NNF for 25% off.
I almost want to be mad, but I'm excited to see ghosts and save some cash too, so that's okay. I'm mad.
Yeah.
But also
seeamericatours.net and go to the link that's Night Watchman Tour.
Lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
I got to tell you, if you live in the Central Florida area like me, you know that this time of year is super hot. In fact, most of the year is super hot. So I've been using Air Concept to help me out with all of my AC needs. When my AC goes down, they come out right away. They take a look at it. Professional, friendly staff that gets it right the first time. That's Air Concept, concept with a K.com, airconcept.com, or you can give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. That was a super interesting interview with Scott York. I can't wait to check out the ghost tours. Mary, we should go. We'd double date or something.
I would love to go. I love St. Augustine.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm already your boo.
It's so much fun. And they've got some great bars over there, and I've definitely pub hopped in St. Augustine, and it's a lot of fun.
There's a nice winery there.
There
when
is.
We went, Scott York talked about all the different ghosts, and because of all of the bad things that have happened in history and tragedies and stuff. And I experienced my own when I was there for our anniversary. I had purchased brand new flip-flops and made a terrible decision to wear them around. And that was a tragedy because by the end of the day, my feet were bleeding. So they died. RIP my feet. So I really understand the plight of the people. I get it. I know why there's ghosts there.
So somewhere in a sauna in St. Augustine is the ghost of Mary's feet that they go on a ghost tour.
Yeah, they have their own OnlyFans. They do.
Chris, you got a top 10 Halloween. Next week is our Halloween episode. Are we dressing up? I'm dressing
it's
up.
Halloween, God damn it.
I already have my costume picked out. I cannot wait for you.
Is
guys
it a
to see
pecker head?
No, that was an
Pecker
animatronic
face.
that I really wanted to buy. The pecker face, yeah.
Pecker face.
Are we dressing? I'm dressing up next week.
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
gonna
wanna
dress up probably as I'm not sure yet actually.
Okay.
All right.
Really good stuff here. Just,
Yeah,
good content.
I have one more piece of the costume that I need to pick up, but
Is it
anyway,
is it someone's face?
it may be someone's face. You never know.
I know a guy. Anyway, top 10.
No.
So
Is it the
guys,
same guy that trimmed your tree?
I
That doesn't sound right.
I-
Cut down your tree.
I am happy to bring back one of the most reputable sources in all of podcasting. Spoon University.
Yes.
My favorite.
Gonna give a shout out to Marissa Blankenship from the University of Alabama. Roll Tide for her article on the top 10 worst candies ranked.
Ooh.
Worse.
All right,
Worst
Marissa,
candies.
I may find you on social media and tag you in this. So this is her little bio. Hi, I'm Marissa. I have a passion for food, especially sweets. So does Scott.
Yeah.
Known to have a good laugh about nothing. So do we. And writing about life like it's a glorified diet. Sounds like our podcast. We might need a fourth host, and Marissa, maybe we'll call you up.
Ooh.
Marissa,
She could do the top 10 list.
She could. All right, we're gonna reach out to her. So let's not make fun of her, although we may make fun of her. Marissa, I'm sorry for anything we might say. I'm not sorry. So here's her article. Sugar is a beautiful substance that can be manipulated in many ways to create different flavors. All right, you're getting too cute with this. I just want to get to the top 10. Number 10 coming in at number 10. Laffy Taffy. Girl, shake that Laffy
Agreed.
Taffy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The body part and the candy, both probably not very good to eat.
No.
Yeah.
So she describes it as it's not terrible, but have you ever noticed how difficult it is to unwrap one of these things?
Oh my god. You
it's
end up
nearly
breaking down
impossible.
to just eating the paper.
Yeah.
You're like, screw it.
Even when you
I
finally
don't- I
peel back a
mean-
silver of plastic wrapping, the taffy itself is probably still stuck to it. How annoying.
Yeah, very
How
annoying. And
annoying. Also, it tastes like straight garbage.
and it's sticky and you get stuck all over the place. No.
I agree.
What,
I don't
what are we
pass.
talking about? Yeah, what are we talking about? This
Yeah,
would be we could be
Scott, what
talking
are you
about a lot of
talking
dirty things, Scott. So anyway, I want to
About
hear your
taffy.
guesses on what you think is going to make this list, guys.
So
Okay.
Circus
Go ahead.
peanuts.
Okay.
Even
Nobody
circus.
who gives out circus peanuts.
Okay.
People give that out.
No, this is not
Only
Halloween
psychopaths.
candy. This is just top 10 worst candy.
Oh, worst
Yes,
candy.
just
I
top
thought it
10
was
worst
Halloween
candy
candy.
across
the
Okay,
board.
yeah.
Because I don't know that
Um,
there's that many bad Halloween candies.
think
Most
that
of them are
people are-
good.
Baby
nowadays.
Roots.
Baby Ruths are.
They're okay. They're okay. I
Um,
don't think they're bad enough to end up on
I
a top
think
10.
that
or
some
bottom
people are
10.
going to say that they hate candy corn.
I
love
Probably
candy
like
corn.
sixlets. You know those. Those
Don't
are
know what that
garbage.
is, but I'll agree with
You
you.
don't know what a sixlet
I
is,
don't.
Scott? You've got to know what that is. It's
Um,
just like it's like a
go ahead.
knockoff of an M&M, and it comes in just like a little slither sleeve.
Oh.
There's 6 of them in it.
Oh, I do know what they
Living.
are. They're horrible.
Yeah, those are
Right.
bad. They're bad.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pile of
You guys are in
garbage.
Florida. The average age is like 67. Do people just give out Werthers at the door?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those are rough. Some people like them.
So I think the candies that'll end up on this list, the candy corn, even
Okay.
though I love candy corn, the licorice is going to
Mhm.
end up on this list, but I love licorice. I love the black jelly beans. Pretty much the candies that I love are going to
Alright,
be
Scott,
on this
we get
list.
it. We get it,
Yeah,
Scott.
you have terrible taste.
You have terrible taste.
Oh, what else? There's Andes mints and York
Oh, Andes
peppermint
candy.
patties. Those are awful. York
Oh,
peppermint patties.
they're okay.
Ugh.
Swedish fish. Swedish fish should be on this
delicious.
list.
Oh,
no,
come
they're
on.
not.
All right, I'm going to get back
I
to
will
Miss
fight
Blankenship's
you.
list.
I know she's got it.
Number 9, coming in at number 9, Tootsie Rolls.
Oh yeah, we
agreed.
forgot about that.
Basically,
Agreed.
We
fake
overlooked that.
chocolate trying to be liked
Yes.
by being soft and chewy. Personally, I don't mind the flavor too much. Think about it though. Why would you want your usually creamy chocolate to be difficult to chew? Doubtful. I like that. I like that. Why would you want that is a psychopath move, whoever made that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's make something that tastes like chocolate. Let's make it very, very hard to chew. And if you have a filling, goodbye. Goodbye,
Yeah,
filling.
goodbye. The only
Buy
good thing about
dentist.
Tootsie Rolls is when you have 5 tickets left at the arcade, you can get like 50 Tootsie Rolls.
That is true. Number
Yeah,
8,
or the song. I also enjoy that.
number 8 is a
Yes.
hard disagree from me. Raisinets. I love Raisinets.
Oh, they're delicious. The
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah,
chocolate
I
ones,
like them too.
fantastic.
First of all, no one likes raisins alone. No one trusts a rare raisin lover. To then put beloved chocolate next to it is to such a cynical dried fruit, that is criminal. You're a criminal, Marissa. You're a criminal.
What does she? What does she mean? Nobody likes raisins.
Come on. I expected
She
better from
clearly
you,
isn't
Marissa.
old enough to know about the California raisins.
I know.
Oh,
I know
I heard
that.
it through the grapevine.
So
The only time that I hate raisins is when they're in a cookie and I think it's a chocolate chip, and then I bite into that cookie and I realize it's oatmeal raisin, and then I throw the cookie at
I
someone.
love oatmeal raisin cookies. You don't?
if you're warned
would
about
still
it,
eat it.
If you're warned,
about it,
if you're
yeah.
warned, they're
Oh,
delightful.
so you don't like? It's the trickery
Yeah,
that you
Right.
don't like.
Or if there's the option on the tray of chocolate chip and the oatmeal raisin, and all of a sudden all of the chocolate chip are gone and you're only left with the oatmeal raisin, then you're pissed off that you didn't get the chocolate chip.
Yes, I'm very pro cookie segregation. I don't think they should be intermingled. I think they need to
Correct.
be separate.
Correct.
Keep them away from each other. Do not
Yes.
trick me. Okay. Number 7. Another one. This is actually my favorite candy. I'm offended this is on the list. Dots. I love dots.
Are those the
Listen,
paper, the candy that's on the paper?
No,
or the
no.
chewy
No.
little,
So the chewy
Oh,
gum
the
drops.
fake
No,
gumdrops,
I-
the fake gumdrops.
Yes, yes.
Chris, they're terrible.
I love dots. I
They
might
would
be a
make my
psychopath,
list.
but I
Oh
love
my god, they're
dots.
awful.
I-
They don't taste like anything. They taste like a suggestion in sugar. Like that's it.
I
They
eat them
taste
until my
like White
stomach
Claw.
hurts. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's not even a joke. I eat them until my stomach hurts, and then I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's time for me to eat 3 more and then be
They're
done.
like glorified, like fruit snacks,
Yeah,
but
I
worse,
know.
but not
Right,
good.
right.
They're like garbage fruit snacks.
No, I
They're
like every
hardened.
color.
They're fruit snacks that got left out for too long and hardened.
Right. They're like ordering a gumdrop on Wish. And then you
Exactly,
get the-
because gumdrops are bad. Some off-brand things
Ew,
are
yeah,
better.
gumdrops are also gross.
I was
I love
potty
all
trained
of
on
them.
gumdrops. Okay, I just want to.
That's a sentence in itself that I never.
we're gonna
really
just
care
we're
to
gonna
hear
go on
again.
to the summary of
Well,
dots.
when I went number 1 or number 2, my mom gave me either 1 or 2 gumdrops, depending on which movement it was. In the in the potty, not in my diaper as a kid,
Oh,
not
gotcha.
last week.
No, that's right.
now you just get hit. So it is beyond difficult to chew a single dot. These multi-flavored gumdrops are kind of terrible. Okay, at least you said kind of terrible, not completely terrible. Due to the chemical aftertaste each one has. They do have chemical aftertastes, but I do enjoy that. No matter what the flavor is. I mean, just look at how unhappy this cat is to have one placed on their head, and there's a picture of a cat with a dot on its head. Yeah, so anyway. Number 6, Everlasting Gobstoppers. Oh, Wonka, you've really let the crowd down with this one. Talk about a waste of time. Getting from one colorful flavored layer to the next takes too long. What are they called? Everlasting Gobstoppers. Marissa.
Yeah, it's not like it's false advertising.
It's
What was she
in the title of the
expecting?
candy. That's like
It actually
that's
is
like her.
false advertising because it usually only takes me about 5 minutes to suck one of those off. You know, everlasting would be forever.
Whoa. Pause.
No pause.
Pause.
Wasn't that no pause?
So anyway,
Oh,
yeah, Marissa, it says Everlasting Gobstopper. All right. Waste of time. Well, you voluntarily signed up for that in the title.
Yeah.
That's like putting Hershey bars on the list and saying this tastes like chocolate. Can't believe this tastes like chocolate
Can't
because it's
believe it.
chocolate, Marissa.
bar shaped. I hate it.
All right, number 5, Red Vines. What a sad excuse for a Twizzler. Complete wannabe. The texture is gritty and the flavor is hardly noticeable.
I think a red vine
This
was
is
out before
all
Twizzler.
around very disappointing candy. Never ate a red vine, never will. I'm a Twizzler
Is the
guy
red
through
vine
and
the
through.
like the big thing that you like
Same
pull up?
thing.
It
No,
looks like a
they're-
Twizzler, but you pull it off, and it's like the little string.
No, that's a Twizzler. That's
Oh.
Twizzler has pull and peel. It's itself.
Oh, okay. Well, then this thing.
Red
is
vines
garbage.
are also licorice. I think red vines were out before Twizzlers. Get Steve on it and see. Steve the intern.
Steve, please get on that for me. Ryan, please go on that. So number 4 is candy corn. Alas, the most hated candy in the nation. Well, then why is it number
But
1?
why?
Marissa?
Yeah, that's weird. Why?
Candy
would-
corn, your kind of flavor just isn't loved by many. Personally, I enjoy a handful of them until the sickly sweet flavor gets too old. So she's a candy corn lover, but put her on the list. Respect.
She's a closeted
Respect.
candy corn
Yeah.
lover.
Respect. Well, the whole nation knows now, and all
Does
of
she
our
like the pumpkin?
thousands of listeners.
I like
You
the
know,
pumpkin.
like, you
Oh,
get,
I
like,
love
the
pumpkin one.
assorted
Yeah, the
ones.
pumpkin candy
What?
corn. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not flavored, because you don't like.
No,
No.
that would be
Fraud.
gross.
Not nice.
Pumpkin.
Number 3 is in my opinion, the biggest cock tease of candies. Double Bubble.
What?
Double Bubble.
The bubble gum?
Bubble gum, yeah. This is the absolute most unnecessary creation ever made. I think slavery might actually be, might be the most unnecessary creation ever made, Marissa. But anyway.
I mean, it's a close second.
The
I
flavor
mean-
lasts 10 seconds. Chewing this is the equivalent to chewing frozen wet cardboard, and the bubbles aren't even impressive enough to put in the candy's name. Need I say more? Gonna need to ask. We're gonna have to get her on the podcast, see if she's ever really tasted frozen wet cardboard, because I'm curious about that.
Frozen and wet.
And I might try it. I'll freeze some wet cardboard and try it with her on the podcast.
Oh, I like it.
There we go. Number 2, Good and Plenty. Yeah, the bad
Yeah,
one.
trash.
Yes.
I agree.
Oh.
No one
Awful.
likes black licorice. It's simply foul. There is no other way to put it. Putting a candy shell of an odd shade of pink and white just makes it worse. This is
Right.
the ultimate
Yes.
grandma candy. They are not good for you, but you do get plenty.
I do like licorice, but Good and Plenty, Mike and Ike's, garbage. They're all garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Mike and
Mike,
Ike's
yeah,
are
keep Mike and
not-
Ike's, Mike and Ike's out of your mouth, Scott.
You
I will
keep
take
my
them.
candy out of your mouth.
All right, guys, coming in at number 1 from Urban Spoon. Not Urban Spoon. Why do I think Urban Spoon?
Because we've been the first week Mary said Spoon University, and both you and I
It was-
corrected her and said, no,
Urban
it's
Spoon?
Urban Spoon.
Why do I think it's Urban Spoon? Is there an Urban,
I don't
Urban Spoon
know.
out there? I don't know. Anyway,
There is an
Number
Urban Spoon
1.
out there.
from Marissa Blankenship, Rodrigo Blankenship's cousin, from Spoon University. Sorry for the loss of your cousin being cut by the Colts. Circus peanuts.
Yes.
Here we are, the true worst candy ever. These artificial
Yeah.
banana flavored marshmallows are either loved by very few or absolutely hated by almost everyone. There has never been an in between. There never will be. With a shockingly bright orange color and an ancient recipe. It's a shame they haven't gotten the message yet. So this is my review of what I feel like to be the 10 worst candies ever created. You may not agree with this ranking though. In that case, you may need to get your taste buds checked. Oh!
Wow. You're the
Burn.
problem.
Listen, any thing that we may have disagreed with, she made up for it in that last sentence because
Yeah, man.
she put the onus on us. So
Wait,
I like
you know
it.
what? I need to. This is a bonus for everybody listening. She did put tags at the end for her article, and they are very funny. I'm gonna read the
Ready.
obvious ones first. Funny, Halloween, and then it gets very strange. Wellness, stupid, alone, too sober.
That's like me tagging something.
It is.
I was like Scott not knowing what he's doing, just typing in random words. Anyway, thank you, Marissa
We-
Blankenship from the University of Alabama.
We said the in an episode, hashtag the.
Oh.
All right, real quick, let's get a Bubba Job Tuesday Night Football update.
Peyton Manning, Joseph Montana, Thomas Brady. Just 3 of the quarterbacks that couldn't even dream of being as good as the almighty Bubba Joe. I am unstoppable. I have finally hit a growth after eating what the doctor ordered. The witch doctor, of course. I do not trust American doctors. What the witch doctor prescribed me was the testicles of a water buffalo. Now before each game, I eat 2.5 water buffalo testicles, which give me the testosterone to throw less interceptions. I am addicted to buffalo balls. I am now fearless. I am the greatest. I am Bubba Joe.
You can catch Bubba Job as he journeys through the NFL every Tuesday night around 9 p.m. Chris, about 9:30.
9-ish. Yep, 9-ish
Yep,
sharp.
and then you can check me out doing Oregon Trail various different nights of the week. My schedule is going to be changing, so who knows when I'm going to do that. But you can check that out on Twitch. That's NNF Podcast on Twitch, or just go to our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com, and the link is there. All right, are you guys ready to play Florida Man versus Jersey Man?
Always.
Yes.
Now Ryan came. This came with a warning. Ryan's like, don't expect too much, especially after last week, which means that this one's going to be better
He says
because
that
that's every week.
every week. You underachiever, you.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 stories. One is from Florida, one is from Jersey. It's up to us to decide which one is which and take a guess, and then Ryan gives us the answer. And here we go. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week in my living room, where I just finished watching the movie Prey, which is the latest in the Predator series. I've always enjoyed the Predator series. One of my favorite things about the movies is the Predator vision, where you get to see through the eyes of a predator. It's kind of an inside look at how Scott sees through his eyes when he's walking around the park near his house. I think Scott's a different kind of predator. I've never seen the one in the movies legally obligated to go door to door and introduce themselves in a new neighborhood. They both scare children, though. Anyways, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. In our first story, a man desperate for a ride to Hooters calls 911. And in our second story, a man claimed there was a shooter at a mall, but turned out to just be a popcorn machine.
All right, so Mary, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to say the Hooters was Jersey and the shooter was Florida. Here's why. Hear me out. I've been in Jersey and it was very hard to find an Uber, and they're expensive. So I probably would have called an ambulance for that. And there's a lot of elderly people in Florida, so it was probably somebody who was just confused at a mall. And who goes to a mall anymore except for old people, right, Scott?
I was just going to say, I love them all. Chris, what do you think?
I think that Popcorn Mall is Jersey and Hooters is Florida.
See, this is tough for me because I agree with you. At the end of the day, I'm going Hooters, Florida, because Hooters was created in Florida and there's a lot of Hooters in Florida. And then Popcorn, Jersey. What's tough for me is you'd think that Jerseyans know the difference between popcorn and gunshots since they hear gunshots on the regular.
It blends together.
Yeah, I guess it blends together. So I'm going Hooters, Florida, Popcorn, Jersey. Let's find out the answers.
Our first story was from Florida, where a man allegedly told 911 dispatchers he needed a ride to the Hooters to help his grandmother who had fallen ill. Cops later learned that the 28-year-old man's grandmother was just fine, and he just wanted a ride to Hooters. Florida police are saying this is the biggest waste of time since Scott spent 30 minutes of his life trying to figure out how to chip golf balls and make them cost $130 apiece. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a man claimed there was a shooter at Newport Mall, but turned out it had just been the popping of a popcorn machine. New Jersey police claimed that this had been the biggest waste of time since Scott spent 30 minutes of his life trying to chip golf balls. And in other news, Alex sent me a story of a naked woman that chased Jehovah's Witnesses off of her porch and down the street, yelling, "Sir, come to my devil vagina magic." I wasn't aware that vaginas had devil magic. Growing up, I was told they had teeth. That's it for me, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Ryan.
The seeing through the eyes of a predator, that was a top tier joke for me. That's gonna go down on the Mount Rushmore of Ryan jokes.
Wow, Mount Rushmore.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, that was really good. That's really good. Listen, it doesn't have to be as epic as last week's to still be extremely funny, and that was extremely funny.
Really good. It's always good. Even when Ryan says they're bad, they're good.
I know. All right, Chris, you got any cliff notes for us this evening?
I don't have many, but I think they're fun. It was hard today because I don't want to make fun of Scott York.
Right. And you talked the entire first segment.
And I talked the entire first segment. And I can't write jokes about jokes that I've already written. So anyway, we're going to start off with Scott hasn't used his Roomba since he doesn't know how to work it. Scott's wife doesn't use Scott because she knows how to work it. So Scott York was our guest on today's show, and he talked about his amazing weight loss journey over the last year. Really cool stuff. Scott also had a similar feat. His was just called a weight journey.
No, we didn't really talk about that on air, but Scott York lost about 100 pounds over a span of a year or so.
A year, yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Thank you for context there. I forgot that was during a break. And if you want to hear what we say during the break, please join our Patreon. It's only $1 a month. You get to watch the whole show. So get there. You understand more of these jokes. We're not going to explain it next time. Listen, we're not going to explain it.
That's on you. It's on you to find out.
Okay. So we talked about ghost tours, and I really don't believe in ghosts. Although I'm pretty sure Joe Biden died like 3 years ago. So I guess I do believe in ghosts. So But speaking of Joe Biden and dead people, did you see that speech that he gave when he asked where one of the authors of the bill was? And it turns out she died like a month ago. Not a joke. This actually happened.
It
Yeah.
did.
I haven't seen anyone that clueless since Mary's old bosses tried to teach Scott what cryptocurrency was. And lastly, we talked about in St. Augustine, there's over 3.5 million white lights during the holiday season. And if you travel up toward the Panhandle, you can find 3.5 million whites carrying tiki lights during election season. And those are my notes.
Thank you, Chris.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights a fuse.
Hey, it's Alex from DizHiz. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of DizHiz, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got going on DizHiz this week?
So what's coming up on DizHiz is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. Scott, why the hell would you want to plan your own vacation when you have someone do it for you for free?
I don't. I have my wife do it.
Rhetorical question, Scott. It's a rhetorical question. You shouldn't. Why would you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't want to do it if you knew someone could do it for free, but people don't know that someone will do it for free. At sandpipervacations.com, you can have someone plan your vacation for free. And guess what, Scott? You try to plan that vacation, it's probably going to be more expensive. And it's going to take you a long time to plan it. And a lot of screaming from the wife thinking, why didn't you give me the good deal, Scott? Why are we paying so much? No wife problems. No husband problems, no anything problems. If you go to sandpipervacations.com, fill out the free quote. Tell them the No New Friends podcast sent you. Wow, I got very angry talking about that.
You did. You're very passionate about this.
I'm very passionate about it because after I found out the magic of travel agents, there's no going back. I'm never planning another vacation again. I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, all these park reservations at Disney. I'm never going to plan a vacation. Well, I don't have to. I'm just going to make Nick do it. So anyway, this week on DizHiz, we are talking about the Oogie Boogie Bash. If you want to go attend the Oogie Boogie Bash, contact Sandpiper Vacation. Oogie Boogie Bash is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but good.
No.
It's man, Disneyland just does their Halloween celebrations so much better than Disney World. It's really sad. They have all the IP over there. They have Zombie Captain America. They have all like it's
well,
awesome.
That's not Walt Disney World's fault.
No,
They've
I know.
got very limited on what they can do with the Avengers here.
Yeah, but they don't do the parties like Disneyland does. And guess what, Scott? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're just gonna have to listen to this week on DizHiz. Not this segment, the actual show.
Yeah, I don't know much about Oogie Boogie Bash, and I don't know much about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, except for I got kicked out of the park early because they closed at 6, so they could do the party, and I didn't have tickets to the party. Yeah. But you can connect with DizHiz65 on all social media, dizhiz.com on the World Wide Web. You can connect with us at NoNewFriendsPodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise. Join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. And for as low as $1 a month, you can watch all of this recording as it happens. You can hear the inside jokes during the breaks because there's a lot of good stuff during the breaks. And you don't want to miss out on that.
Scott, what's our highest tier on there?
Our highest tier is $20.
Okay, so for $20, do you think maybe we could be an actual friend with benefit with somebody who does a $20 tier?
Oh, I don't.
We'll discuss it, and you know what? If you listen, if you do the $20, we'll consider it. How about that?
You know what? Yeah, Mary can be your friend with benefits.
Why am I volunteer?
I'll share. I'll chip
because I'm the host. Chris does all the technology. You were supposed to do marketing. You get to be the friend with benefits.
Mary's immune system's horrible. She's gonna miss so much time going on all these dates. I will do it. I will do it.
Whatever. You died from typhoid like 4 times already.
That is true. Maybe Scott, you're gonna have to take one for the team. Yeah. Then we're gonna use a lot of Patreon.
You have a Roomba hanging around. Like, can we use that?
Sorry, just trying to get us more Patreon. Scott, go ahead.
So yeah, do that. If you listen to us on Apple, give us a 5-star review and rating. Don't forget to check us out on Twitch. That's NNF Podcast. You can watch Tuesday Night Football. Watch me battle zombies in the Oregon Trail Zombie Edition. On behalf of Mary, Chris, our guest, Scott York, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.